Hello everyone, welcome to the Birmingham International Fencing Competition 2024. We have our last final of the weekend. On the left hand side we have Charlie Follett from Pentathlon GB, and on the right hand side we have Georgina USHER from Southpool.
It's interesting. Georgina's got a very rigid game plan she puts into all her bouts. It's very go to the back of the piste, wait for the right timing, and then get it at that point, and then just repeat for each hit. It's interesting because I don't think I've actually seen her down points all day.
She uses her height as a real advantage, and of course Georgina, former Commonwealth champion, current British fencing CEO, against a younger Charlie Follett, making her way through the pentathlon program currently.
And veteran world champion.
Of course. Very nice. So obviously Georgina's clearly trying to use the stop hit using small point control. However, that was a very nice small step in, feint in, and then cease power riposte.
Yeah, so drawing out. She's probably been watching what Georgina's been doing, knows her game plan, knows she needs to step in, draw that out, and take it.
Of course, Georgina in the semi-finals beat pentathlon Olympic champion Kate French, and we saw Kate have some success with using a second intention power riposte. However, Georgina was able to close it out in the end with some greatly timed attacks on preparation.
It's interesting because she hasn't got the lead, but she's still trying to stick to that game plan. But Follett is being drawn in. But even though it's a very rigid game plan, it works well for her, and it's been working for her all day.
Especially against pentathletes. Obviously, pentathlon fencing slightly different to standard fencing, where they only fence to one hit, and if no hit is scored in a minute, they both lose. So perhaps that kind of inner subconscious means that the pentathletes will always be trying to go for a hit.
Interesting angle. Not thought about it that way. So Georgina near the back line, and well timed.
Very
Sees
nice.
the opening.
Charlie steps in a bit too close there, especially into Georgina's longer distance. Really, like Will said, a very nice tempoed attack.
And this is where you do not want to be as a fencer. You're down a point against Georgina, and again she's going to do a game plan, which really takes advantage of that being ahead, the fact that she's ahead.
Charlie Follett also previously coached by John Rees out of Malvern, and we see there just slightly too far out from Charlie Follett. Quite a nice simple stop hit. Again, Georgina, very, very good technique. Arm out early, arm out high.
Yeah, and Georgina near the back, but this is where she seems to feel quite comfortable. Gets a stop hit, but it's only a double this time. But she's fine with doubles. She can take doubles, but Charlie needs to get some single lights here. And we go to the break at 4-2. So, same question as before. If you're coaching either of these fencers, what would you be telling them right now?
Quite frankly, if I put myself in the lovely Sam Boyle's shoes, who is coaching Georgina, I'd tell her to keep doing exactly what she's doing. It's quite clear that Charlie, winning or losing, may continue to keep pressing, and really just she needs to keep finding that tempo to launch the counterattacks, maybe feint in, do the stop hits, vary it.
I mean, for me personally, if I were Follett at the moment, I'd look at that successful hit she got earlier, the draw, the counter-attack, and draw the stop hit, take the parry, and then hit.
It's interesting actually because she did that first point and actually hasn't attempted it again. Maybe because pentathletes are not well versed over long format, so maybe tactical game is something they don't practice as much. I mean, me myself, I do train with pentathlon GB. It's a wonderful, wonderful environment to be training in, but a lot of the focus is one hit, one hit, one hit.
She's going much more aggressively this time.
Yeah, potentially trying to use her pentathlon endurance. They are some of the fittest athletes on the world, to tire Georgina.
The other thing is maybe the faster tempo, just she wants to give Georgina less of an opening to get that stop hit.
Again, we see an attack from just a lot further out of distance, and just, again, Georgina able to get a lovely stop hit in.
And a stop hit on the bottom of the hand. Really, really good accuracy from Georgina. Really good read of the timing and distance. At the moment, FOLLETT needs to do something different if she wants to catch up. She's trying to keep that blade busy, just maybe trying to stop the opportunity for Georgina to get a stop hit.
I mean, beautiful, beautiful tempo yet again from Georgina. Just that natural instinct on Charlie's step forward. I think we're noticing as well Charlie's fencing a little bit of a closer distance when she's pushing this time. However, it is a bit of a two-edged sword, so to speak. As if you step in way too close against a taller fencer, you're already playing to their game.
So, pentathletes, how often do they stop hit compared to normal fencers in your experience, Ed?
From my experience of training with them, it really isn't that often. A really nice step lunge there, a bit closer distance that time. Because they're looking for single lights, and they will more often than not tend to try and parry riposte. A lot of the time it is stop hit to hand or wrist if it's there, and then followed up with an immediate parry riposte, really trying to secure that hit.
Yeah, because I feel like you need to get the timing, which you need to potentially lose hits to work out in order to find that stop hit. So yeah, not really something that FOLLETT's dealt with as much as Georgina has.
Again, same attack, a bit not full commitment there, and if you're not going to fully commit to your attack against Georgina, you will be punished.
Yeah, and trying to keep that tempo up. She gets a double, but still not enough. She needs to get those single lights at this point. Currently 1 minute left in the second period. 9-4 to Georgina.
I think what we're seeing as well is no real tactical change from Charlie here. She's still pressing Georgina to the end of the piece. She's trying to use a lunge that's not really been working, and yet we haven't seen the beautiful second intention parry riposte we saw first hit.
But I've been repping Charlie all day, and she's been doing some excellent fights. She's made a couple of comebacks and being quite a few points behind. But I just feel like here, the experience and, again, that sort of concrete game plan is just working really well for Georgina here. Double. This time, Charlie steps in, stops in Georgina's distance. Georgina takes it up, but it's just a double. So going to the second break. So what changes have we seen this period, do you reckon?
I think this time, to be honest, we really haven't seen any changes. There was no difference in tactics from Charlie. She kept trying to press, kept trying to use the lunge up, wasn't working, and therefore it plays straight into Georgina's hands. You know, Georgina can use her height, she can use her experience, using tempo, and is really just putting on a great example of how taller fencers can use their height as a pure advantage.
So we have seen a lot of pentathletes today. They seem to choose this competition as their big event of the year.
Yeah, definitely. We saw quite a few of them on the men's side of the draw as well, doing pretty well, making top 16s. It is a particular favourite event for them. They do have their second Olympic qualifier of the season coming up in about a week and a half time in Cairo. So we wish them all good luck from the fencing side. Of course, Great Britain, one of, if not the best pentathlon country in the world, with current Olympic champions Kate French and Jo Chung.
So Jo Chung actually was here today, but he wasn't fencing, although his brother was. He was mainly here to coach his girlfriend, Olivia Green. So again, very similar to the previous period.
One thing we are seeing is a lot more disruption of the blade from Charlie. You know, really trying to find an opening, even a small bit of line displacement.
So Georgina actually trying to attack out of distance. This time, I think that is the step-in draw, parry, go.
Yeah, a bit of a different variation. It was almost like she attacked so far out of distance that Georgina's top hit was kind of there, and she could pick up the blade and continue.
But my theory is that was part of the plan. Yeah, at this point, she needs to look at that hit and try and replicate it, because for me, that hit's worked twice already. So maybe she could keep it working.
Again, Georgina just using that really clean, really tight point control to get the double into the arm. Charlie again, she's trying to find that octave and go through, but Georgina has fenced for many years, spent some time in Hungary whilst competing on the World Cup circuit before becoming CEO of British Fencing, so would have been trained to look for any blade engagements and disengage round.
I'm just sorting out the hair. For me, it looks like FOLLETT is trying to draw at the moment. You see how she's sort of stepping in, feinting attack, then immediately stepping backwards.
Yeah, she's trying to use a bit of a half step. Oh, unfortunate.
Goes for the foot. Georgina steps on her blade and gets the hit.
Unfortunately, that is just one of the things that happens in Epee. Charlie potentially thought she also hit the foot, started to recover, wasn't prepared for the attack coming in from over the top.
Is this foot hit something you see a lot in pentathlon?
Occasionally.
So there, what was that, do you reckon? Just a direct attack?
I think what it looked like is the stop hit kind of went over the shoulder of Charlie. She has used that kind of low lunge into fleisch quite a few times and just managed to sneak underneath.
Just managed to avoid the stop hit there. It's interesting, Georgina's sort of signature hit is that flick to the outside of the arm, but I haven't seen her do it all day today.
Yeah, whereas at that time, Georgina just, again, I'll keep banging on about it, but incredible point control, just finding the inside of the arm constantly.
Oh, I might have just seen her fainting to it. She uses that quite well as part of her strategy because fencers expect her to do it and she builds it up into feinting to the outside of the wrist and then doing something else.
It was a very nice foot hit from Charlie Follett there. Maybe caught Georgina in a kind of lapse moment.
I think for me it was in the recovery from Georgina.
Now only just under 30 seconds left now, 5 hits behind. Charlie's really got to try and do something as Georgina steps off the side of the piece. 22 seconds to go.
So Georgina caught on the back foot but able to get in that stop hit, bring her to 15-9.
Well, yes, Georgina USHER, Birmingham International Champion 2024. A real demonstration of tactical, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So congratulations, Georgina.